girl, where you watch, look where you watch, know where you watch, choose the right thing to watch, and this enough to watch. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gag on Facebook and YouTube. And that enough to watch. The movie star fly take off from Palpatine TV said that. Boom!
A big sound, a big tune.
Jah holy Emmanuel I, boy. Jah Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression, poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from it, tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not every.
Blue, Mr. Gargan, blue. Blue till me dance up me toe.
Yeah, man, me see Christopher ToughTounge run out. And the little one, the funny one, when he Nesta Morgan. But try to control the news, fix the news and want to do it, manipulate the people, especially young media people who want to ask some question. Him just put a barrage and padlock over them. Like him have a really, I don't know, but then the people just come out and try to just sugarcoat up things. And anything him do is like him there as a referee for everybody, like a big bully. I mean, the Jamaican people not see and can't look into these people and say, well, then, it's just, the house is full of bag of tricks. Yeah, man. Full of bag of tricks. It's like this girl that asks this man a question about the people that were indicted for corruption, the 6th minister, And the woman asks, the girl asks some nice question, and he might try, he don't even know what he say, These people, they so done, some people can't really say that, But what them do now, them control the media. Because no matter the media, they them not really answer question from a media personal who them know. They know what them are doing. Everything does scripts out, pencil out. Yeah, man. I'm going to see Christopher ToughTounge come out now and talk about health service. And them have him alleged there, people who are there on him board and things like that. All these people are people where is upper class people, I dig out Jamaican poor people eye with some big salary, and now do the work, And at them is the slave masters who is there to down press the rest of people in Jamaica. And some of them just thereby them know somebody there and them who know who, so them bring them in. It's just a clap what I mean, I know, but people, when you look and see the tricks, and when you see right now, they can see election is in the air. You have a thing named snap, And that me see a boil up, Me see it from afar, in the crystal ball, trust me. You must come with that catch your opposition, them half key again, Catch them sleeping, catch them up in. Yeah, man. People can just look what go on right now, You hear this guy said that he can't turn up and turn down. And then really, people just follow the right thing, Follow it. Follow the argument. Follow the script. So all me can say, this is election hearing. And the thing is this, when we see where them people can call an election right now. Right? And them win it. Same speed. And then when them win now, the people them got to start because them have the machine to do it. The opposition are no leader. The opposition is weak. The opposition like they don't exist. So they're not really taking serious. The leader is not a leader as far as me see, and not the truth. Because me personally, would really like a change of government, to see a change of government still, Trust me. I see the back of this Labour Party. administration. Believe you me, people. But let me tell you, you have to start the things as how you see it. As some you see it. As some me get it. As some me ancestors them tell me. And as some me a vision in myself. Because as me say, God is within everybody, God liveth and reignieth in every man. And you have good and you have bad in you. And that's what God there, I'm telling you all the while, don't look at heaven for God. So, when my God tell me, and when my ancestor tell me, and when my common sense tell me. So you see, all of them things that work together, that is the power of God, I'm telling you that. There's a snap election looming around the corner, okay? Surprisingly, it's going to be surprisingly so shocking. Somebody said, never expect that. Believe you me, that's going to happen. And believe you me, how me see it, them going to win again. People not going to accept that. The people are going to run them out and rate and lele. And some people like follow PMP, them so done something like that. If you attack, Lego you lead and Lego you fight against PMP. But you see when, but them people that don't bother you want to, because them can't talk to me. That's a number one. But well, that's some big of the people who really live on a level, use them common sense and not busy about party, but once the truth a chop over here and things like that, that's what you have to deal with and that you're more concerned about. And that me like. So I'm not really bother about those type of people where the diety them and the fool on them. Because I would make certain government in a power all the while. Yeah man, and get the swing. But anyway, this man I talk about the hospital, and I talk about him like him caring for certain disability people and all them attack, is there something that come to do control damage? A speech, because them do that, and that's what government do, they do that all the while, and especially when an election a loom, they come and you see them start to talk something. When you say, what do you matter about this? This man talk about health care and people well-being and people, all them care about people. And you have now, if you care about people and people well-being, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to see so the hospital them have the equipment. The hospital them have the doctors and nurses. Hospital them have the medicine. People are going around and have get donation for buy medicine and them things there. Some people have to buy some medicines, some people have to buy some people have to we get some free, to be truthful. Even and the one we get free, sometimes you go there and you run out, you can't get it. So you're still outside. So it's something you depend upon, you actually have to go buy it out of your own money. Because that's how them run the system, So the one we get free, most of the time it run out. Because it was in a short supply all the while. And that's why you see money a move again, money a thief. So all them things, how the people them some really worse than padlock, Like some really hook, hold somebody, you can't, but them can't move. I saw them government people have these people in a bandage. Yeah. They spin the things there. Yeah, because I'm not talking about them things there. We get an X-ray, you have to pay for it. I'm not talking about them things, but yet you come now, if you get a scan, look much people die through that, then I not scan. And it leave too long. It just happened another day, what me say. When I hear anybody talk about that, anyway, with boom dynamite, with the car accident and things like that, them let him out, he never get a scan, because then a public him was, yeah, I'm tell you something more. So you see, those things that was happen so regular. That's, I don't hear nobody talk about this one, but I just say go. So, you know what I mean? But no machine, no fire burn unit, nothing at all. The hospital, you have a roach around the hospital, a rat. Right, the rat them all them things. You have light lock off in the hospital. You have hospital, them look so like a hog pen. The hospital, you know. So we can match up hospital or hospital really stay compared to Jamaican hospital, you know what I mean? Serious thing. Yeah, man. And this man I could talk about things, them, and I talk about things, them. When I talk, you know, just broadcast broadcast something, you know. And who I talk to? Not the big people them who make the country run, you know, the garrison, the poor people them, no. Because them same one I suffer. When anything happen to them, them got public, them dead. Because there's no treatment there for them. And people talk that all the while. People talk so much thing about the health service and this, yet this man come and talk about some, you know, talk the thing when I'm supposed to talk, you know. And if you build that from first, put the equipment and all the things them necessary in the hospital, yo, it, you know, that would just be a start. More things would be happening. You see me? People life would be saving. Because boom dad might get a scan. They want to see some damage there. So if that happened foreign, that could never happen. Man life could be saved. Might have to go through an operation, but that's all it is. But you better you try more than don't try. So we try to go through an operation, and that is rarely you find people are dead on an operation again. No. No matter how deep the operation is, no matter how long the operation is, you have operation for 24 hours and people survive. So you don't know how delicate that was, you know. So, you know, bad that dead, you see. So boom daddy might get a chance. He might be alive today. But the negligence of these people, and this guy come out about health service and rate and lay wait no make no sense. And him now talk about the big picture when he's supposed to do. One hospital a month ago be from 2017 and people are must here up an hospital, eh? And a billion new hospital, you know. One time it was 5.2 billion and the hospital still not finished yet. A lot of work still left done pan it. And now it's gone to 14 point something billion. Just look at that. This again, money moving. Yeah, man, and people can't see that. They're just blind and take everything these people talk and tell them. And they spin things like a gig. Yo, they look on them and you can see them really, really evilous, you know. Yeah, man. Really evilous. More than evilous. You ask the minister, say, Dr. ToughTounge, would you willing to take some question from the media? You don't have to ask him that. Of course, he's supposed to be willing to take some question from media. That's why every press conference, social government press conference, that's what it's all about. So I don't know what kind of question that you ask them thing then I talk with your friend from the Star, all them stuff, all right thing there. Yeah, man, this man that try, this government are really, really, I want dictator government, you know. Remember see this in my life. Siago did bad, but Siago couldn't come so bright, you know. You know, so Siago did with the man that deal with the CIA and them things there. And that's why Jamaica is going to some crisis when food and married and all them things there. You can if you buy one thing, you have to buy the next thing. Because them married things, people don't live through them things there. So some you don't go through them things there, so them just come up and born and them don't know what go on. So that's much as what go on at them time there. You know what I mean? Yo, a serious situation. Them come and sign up thing, I do a photo up for who. And I talk about this and that. Election in a year, man. Remember me tell you so Keith Gargan said that. I'm not fool. I'm not fool. you see, the woman asked him, if anybody contact you from the the integrity commission, right? And the man bulldoze out the man out of the way and take up the question right away. And you see this man, what I'm tell you say, evil brother, this, Let's see, man. Because he come with that, because he know he might gonna expect that, But you see, that's why they don't let in. And the media, them at Jamaica too, some of them are shit, believe you me. Because them buy out, them sell out. They're too weak, they're supposed to bulldoze and ask for them. You can't select who you want to talk to. That's a select because say, well then, all who must select and things like that, when you point on somebody, you up now. Them don't get pay off, and so they now come hard. I saw the government here run. That woman I know, that like a young one I know, asks this question, right? She is independent and she is tough. But because the next lady bring her in, And she asks directly, it's the next senior woman bring her in, you can see it from the video people. So yeah, man. So I want to see your shit go on here, man. Corruption pan corruption pan corruption. You hear this one, Happy to commit pan public health. But yet, but then still not asking the right question. Not asking the right question. Where this CCTC can analyze this fucking thing? Where them there? Eh? Where the CCTV scan them? None of them, none of the hospital. You have to go private. So they all in it together. And some of them themselves are run private surgery now. Yeah. Enough of them. Because if a doctor, he's going to have one of the biggest private things. And that's true. People are really getting into him thing. Because them hide everything. And that's how they must set the constitution now. So you can't find out nothing. I can't work like that, brother. Can't work like that. Government have to work to the people, and the people and the government. People put on there, right? Put on a right and want to hide information from people. 6 people indicted for working with corruption. And we don't know who, if it was America, England, Canada, them name long time. Nobody can hide nothing. It have to come out. And because them paper, them buy out the newspaper, them buy out the media, them now come out and because them didn't really strong, they want to release the names. But everybody in the same basket. Everybody in the same basket. Everybody, man. Under the same umbrella. When I say everybody, when I mean everybody, these oligarchs, they call them. They all under the same umbrella. And if we know the amount of fighting, go on in the Labour Party right now, we'd never believe it. But you see what them do? They're good at, and they learn in it. They learn from Pernell Charge and Babsy Greens and them would go after Siago. So them know PMP really they learn. So PMP now muddy right now because them divided, they split, them a fight against each other. The leader with them have no good. And that's the fuck. Him can be a minister, yes, but you to be a prime minister, you have to be a different pedigree, brother. You don't have it in you. And the man who have it in him, wanna hold him back. You cannot say it go. Just like the slavery day, Yeah, man. Just like the slavery day. Nothing to in better. Anything to going better and improve people's life. Spin it. Spin it. Because just uno alone want to reach and have a big swimming pool, or 2 swimming pool too. 6 car on a driveway. You can jump and play no want. Yo, what go on? I don't know. Yeah. But that was sticky situation, people. Very sticky. You know what I mean? Very sticky. And believe you me, what I say I go on right now, we just see election in a year, and we're gonna get a shaka, bigger than Shaka Zulu, and that will go on, pan water go on. And we don't know, but you know, a serious situation. People them really organized. Everybody I sing the same hymn, you know. Cause that's one me just said, you know, the Labour Party well organized, you know. A lot of infighting at the Labour Party right now, you know. That's why people now talk, somebody, all right. What I'm trying to say to people, and people have to understand this, is not because Andrew Wallace, because although him come out and talk all them shit about him have a really disciplined party and disciplined people in campaign speech or in my campaign, but with him and Crab, Dr. Crab, Oriel Strong, there's something there between that two guys. And there's something there with him and Will Reed. Him can't find none of them, he can't go hard for none of them. Him have to try to clear them with all him. So all Jamaican get corrupted now and the constitution start. And him a try to do that. Because they don't want Real Reed go to prison. Because if Real Reed go to prison, because if Real Reed will leak out certain things at the end of the Prime Minister there. Believe you me. So him have to go hard. So he will try to really tamper with the constitution and get it out and blindfold people. Yeah, man, get it out and blindfold people. And people really take it serious and say, man, really what the people are dealing with. It's all about Real Reed, you know. That same man for the save him, you know, because there's something there. There's something there. See, that's why him can't go out for them people. Real Reed, Oriel Strong, the one on Portland, Daryl Valls, right? Even the same Chris ToughTounge there. Warmilton. Yeah, Warmilton will be yeah, man, there's something that, yeah, man, a lot of people don't know that, you know, but let us unite. I remember, you know, it come out in the paper. So when I go talk about alleged, it come out of the paper. Either the paper. And they must try to clear them name now. Daryl Vaz was a part of that, them said. And we can't say alleged. But we can't say that because I just want to get me things up, you know. He must be one of them. And they want to get him out. I want to get him out completely. So you see, this is not like bar talk, you know. And then people are trying to, because why happen now? They just unite, but you know, because the money are running, you know, and everybody happy, you know. But nobody can bring down nobody, because if anybody bring anybody down, then man, that is the type of going we are now, you know. It's a mafia chain, you know, people. And people don't realize that, you know. I see them come out of them jacket and tie and think them clean and squeaky. Yo, you have to know what go on in this, right you know. Because these are set of vampires, you know. And you have some old lion in the still, now they go. Right, and them have some secret, you can't touch them neither. So them can't come and do what they want to do. Mash up Jamaica before them dead and go away. You know what I mean? So when them dead and gone, they just want to, because they don't want, you know, no corruption and things. They want to do everything. So them will mash up the constitution to save them own skin. And that are going right now. And right that's right there. Yeah, man, that are going right now. Right that's right there. Believe you me. Yeah. Tell you someone, in a pretty, you know, in a pretty. It's far from pretty. There's so much incitement in that party. Worse than the PMP, but the only thing them control it, PMP can't control for them. you don't see it. As a party go, you know. As a politics go. And people don't even realize that, you know. You see them in a House of Parliament, laugh and go on at as them turn them slam back and come out of Parliament. A different we have a group over there chat. Susu. You have a next too long so Susu. You have an extra, I saw them bunged up, everybody have their own crew, I saw political people, if you don't know, in every country. Let me tell you that. You have few in that corridor there, you have blah blah, and them a chat. Just as how blood clam or ordinary people chat about people on the street. I saw politics behave the same way. Politics say, well, them nice and them people were going, they must be fucking mad. So let me go and body them and this, yeah. Nah, man, them chat one another the same way. Some of them hate in a parliament, some of them hate, some of them one party, not even on another side, but just on them one party, less much. People really if you know that. If you know that people, and I say go. So all who are going, Andrew can't follow blood fire crab. Can't fire Oriel Strong, can't fire him. Instead of fire them people and promote them. I don't see why the man get razor pay for and performance, him underperforming with crime as a security minister, and him get razor pay and have much title, deputy prime minister, all them things, where him sleep in a parliament all the while. Only in Jamaica, brother, and people, and the Jamaican people and see that, and that's why I know say, yo, me tell you something, man. Yo, me I tell you, say, me no know, brother. Yo, serious situation. Anyway, we're going to this video, and we hear this tough tongue, I say. That's what I call him now, Christopher Tough Tongue. Yeah, man, this is the guy. Hear this. And people, the reason why me said this is an election hearing, an election is in the year, as me I say, well, my ancestor tell me that, the father God tell me that, and my common sense tell me that, it's because you have now, you see the constitution don't matter if you rush through, but then no say it's unconstitutional, double time, so you call it a double whammy. A lot of people now go buy it and things like that, and they know them do something when they're right. They don't do something where they don't even know about. They don't consult the people. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing they can do in this world where more important one of the people have to have a say in it as well. Right? This is the constitution, This is one of the greatest things for everybody. And what we have already, not that good, but we are living it and it really have laws there. But even when the laws is there, then people don't want to use the law. They want to hide it and things like that. But they want to change it in them, when they fix it. Because I'm saying, it's about railroad and things like that. And the corrupt government them. So you see, when me say it's an election here and this coming up soon, snap, watch out, it's going to come. They're fixing it because they know if they stay too long ahead, things will get out of hand, and people are going to get find out things and them can't really. So what they want to do now, boom, call a snap and suspect you look. People are going to even, and so it's going to be really, I don't know, but people are going to accept something like that at this time. Anytime soon, people, I tell you that, just listen to what this man has said. I'm not joke. Because you have now. They have to do that because they have to try to stay in power any means necessary. And that's all it is. And when them do that now, then the constitution are actually end up go through. Because they always go on and adjourn and blah blah, picky around the edge and things like that till people just give up and things like that. But they're going to get them where? Yeah, they're going to get them where? Once them in power, they're going to get them where. But if them, so it's them at play a game, a cat and mouse game right now, and Jamaican people not see it. They don't see it. when you can't see, when you have no common sense. I saw when I grow up, yo, me tell you something really smart and that. Yeah, man, some say God never want to suffer, you know. Don't understand, you know. In my beautiful country still, you know. And that I go on, you know. The man, anyway, them, you see, because once them win again, you know, then, you know, really, you can't forget about him. You can't forget about Pinnock. You can't forget all the, about the Petra Jam and things like that. You can't, them come with a thing now when they say that was in the past and some key thing, you know, where new constitution I go come up with. Because the new constitution not gonna work for poor people, you know, it's gonna work for them. And I saw them set it right now. And the PNP can't do nothing about it because they, to me, when I talk about them all in it together. So no matter you see people that talk, because remember, you know, Mark Gold a billionaire, you know. So when I'm a billionaire, don't you say, well, then I'm Mark Gold a billionaire and do all kind of thing and spend money some ways and blah, blah, and things like that. But I never see him get Keno in a Trench Town a $500,000 and say, well, then put it towards where I do. You know, I never see him do that. But at the same little people, them, the Keno help life in Trench Town. And them same when him come look the boat them from. So, I don't understand these people. None of them I understand. So people can't think, so well then, them all the same. Remember, you know, Andrew, well, let's point to the day, so well then, when I talk about the razor pay 200% on rate and Lele, you know, when I'm in the press room there, you know, see him point out to him and say, my beloved friend over there, Mark Golan. Mark Golan, hello, Mark Golan said nothing, you know. You know what I mean? Hello, Mark Golan said nothing. So you tell me now. Anyway, watch the space. I watch the space. I remember saying, God, I tell you that election is ringing in the air. Yeah, man, watch the space.
Thank you very much, Minister, and good morning to everyone. So I just wanted to, before we announce and sign together with the Minister of Labour, my colleague, and let me just welcome and say greetings to my colleague, Favour Williams, my colleagues Norman Dunn, and of course the Minister who just spoke. I just wanted to elaborate a little on the two fairly significant things that took place yesterday, because the government, through the Ministry of Health and Wellness, signed agreements equivalent to some almost $30 billion, $27 billion for medication through the National Health Fund, and a number of contracts were awarded over a 3-year period, and $2 billion for the regional health authorities associated with a particular agreement that is in keeping with our desire to see a more efficient equipment maintenance arrangement so that we can treat our patients in hospitals in a more efficient way and get the maximum use of those benefits. So on the first issue, there was a service level agreement between the ministry and the regional health authorities around medical equipment maintenance management, a policy that we have been working on for the past few years. And each regional authority, there are 4, were given $500 million to support the implementation of that policy. I do note that the media carried the story, and there was a front page item on one of the print media, which obviously highlighted the negative aspect of the challenge related to equipment in our hospitals. And it is true. I did commission a study a few years ago to determine what was the best approach to ensuring that our equipment are giving us the maximum life. And we found that it was not based on the existing policy, which was fairly ad hoc. And we have been transparent in outlining that 1,853 pieces of equipment for regional authorities, 15% deemed non-functional, 39 fairly functional, and 47 fully functional. If you put the 47 and the 39, clearly you get a much higher figure than the 47 that was quoted as with the impression that only 47 was working. It's not actually the case. It's closer to 80+%. However, of that amount, probably half is not as efficiently functioning as it ought to. So the ministry embarked on this policy, which really establishes a protocol for how the regional authorities, who are the managers of our hospitals and health centers, should approach routine servicing of our equipment, how they procure, the establishment of service level agreements, because up to this point, and this is a many decade approach, we were very ad hoc in what we procured. Some had service contracts, some did not. When things, minor issues had to be resolved by bringing people in from overseas, there was no agreement in the contract for training of personnel locally to service. And the truth is the taxpayers weren't getting value for money. And that's what the government has tried to correct. So it's a very positive development and should be viewed as such. And it will mean more efficient delivery of service for the staff, and of course, importantly, in terms of the patients. So I can field any questions on that. Just to add finally on that, there are 3 other service level agreements that we're working on. One to deal with things like air conditioning, elevators, and so on. From time to time, you hear that the elevator is down or air conditioning unit is down. We're dealing with that right now in about 2 hospitals, which is preventing surgeries and so on. And another to deal with buildings, roofing, and so on. So what we have, in summary, is a standard procedure that we're putting in place to accompany the 10-year strategic build-out and modernization of public health, which we believe will lead to more personnel, more technically competent personnel, and agreements that are a lot more solid to depreciate the value of our equipment over an appropriate time, but ensuring that it functions during that period. And I think that is positive for all concerned in public health. The second issue was the contracts by the National Health Fund. Now, what we have done is to negotiate with a number of, it's really a public tender and companies bid, and there's a very efficient team at the NHF. We all know that the NHF has won several awards for good corporate governance, and of course supervised by other agencies, the oversight of that process, which led to a conclusion of $27 billion being awarded over 3 years, 34 contracts, 27 companies, over 1,000 items of medication, drugs, to be purchased over that period of time. The figure could actually go up because from time to time we have to secure others. The beneficiaries, the real impact is 700,000 Jamaicans who benefit directly from the drug serve windows. We have over 100 of such, some public-private arrangements, most of them, of course, in our hospitals and health centers. If you were to add those who benefit from subsidies, maybe some of us in this room, then it's well over 1 million Jamaicans who benefit. Now, interestingly, and I want to say it because there is a perception in public health or in the populace, and certainly by some who are, who spend more energy looking at critical of the system, which is fine, it's our democracy, that somehow the government is not responsive. And this is not the case. 7+ years ago when we took office, when I became Minister of Health, we were serving some about 350 to 400,000 Jamaicans through this drug serve window. Today it is 700 and counting. The amount that we have spent on drugs has gone up over 100%. In fact, 3 years ago when the last agreement was achieved, it was some 19 billion. Today it's 27 billion. And if you go back to the 7-year period, it's quite a lot more. Now, what it says, and I think it's important to note, is that we are responsive and we are sensitive to the sick profile of our population. And we do have a deteriorating sick profile. So that's one. But secondly, there has to be some concerns about the fact that increasingly people are demanding, and even at a younger age, medication for curing illnesses that they are developing. And it speaks to the issue of lifestyle diseases. The major increases are from things like cardiovascular disease, so hypertension, diabetes, renal issues, cancers, not in absolute terms, but in terms of cost. They said when someone is diagnosed with cancer, you're immediately looking at least 10 million Jamaican dollars of expenditure between treatment of one form or another. So I would say that we are demonstrating that we are prepared as a government to respond to the needs of the public. And this is very much manifested in the allocation of 27 billion. But we are also very concerned that our population is moving in a direction, and all the implications of that, that is unsustainable in several ways, from a productivity level, from a health and wellness level, from a happiness level, which means that a lot of other conversations have to take place, which is why we have launched the Know Your Numbers campaign to encourage screening, because early detection is a major response to trying to cauterize some of these issues. So all told, I think from a public health standpoint, things are improving in terms of our response, but we still have a lot of work to do. I want to also quickly comment, if I may, Chairman, before I go into this signing, on the recent discussions around hospital beds or the lack thereof, and the concerns that have been raised by some, the opposition included, that somehow we are accommodating inhumane treatment of Jamaicans who visit our hospitals. First of all, over the last 7 years, the government has done more than any other administration in my memory to improve the conditions of our health infrastructure. And if you look at the trajectory over the next few years, that level of improvement will expand exponentially. And I'm not exaggerating. You're talking about a 60 million US 6-story facility at Spanish Town. You're talking about the full restoration of Cornwall, which would mean more bed space, the new Western Child and Adolescent Hospital, the plans for Maypen, for St. Anne's Bay, and over 100 community health centers that have been renovated over the last 5 years to the tune of over $3 billion. And I could go on, but I won't. But suffice to say that we have to be careful that we do not identify a single incident, even without fully understanding the context and drawing conclusions of doom and gloom for whatever purpose. Maybe naivety, maybe inexperience, or maybe just mischief. I'm prepared to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it's naivety. The reality, though, is that our public health infrastructure has been responsive, but the reality is that we're suffering from a chronic neglect over decades, which will take time, and all of us have to play our part in that. The issue at Cornwall Regional with the video that circulated is unfortunate from a number of perspectives. First of all, the context is that it is a section of the hospital which is a kind of holding area for social cases when we become overcrowded by more urgent, life-threatening cases that require inpatient care, and we have to assign them a bed. And today, Cornwall is over 100% occupied. A number of hospitals like that. That holding area does have facilities for persons to sit, maybe a reclining chair or otherwise. And the truth is some persons exercise the option not so to do, and that is unfortunate. So while we do not excuse away the need for monitoring and closer monitoring, which I've asked to be done at a management level, it is a function of some of the challenges around demand and the challenges around social cases in our institutions. We have at any point in time about 10% of our hospital beds occupied by persons who are not supposed to be there. They have been discharged, but they have nowhere to go. Their relatives have abandoned them, and they live in the hospitals. And the infirmaries are already overcrowded. And we have transferred a lot to our infirmaries. I work very closely with Minister Mackenzie. 10% of about 6,000 beds is, as you know, right, 60 or so. It's about 6,500 beds. In the western region, based on the recent numbers I have, we have over 100 social cases. And the western region has about 600 plus beds. So it's a struggle. I'm not saying it's not something we need to improve on. We are doing that by building out. But it is a struggle. And I think that context is important as we draw conclusions. And the government has demonstrated a lot of compassion, I believe, over time. But I continue to appeal to relatives that you must collect your loved ones when they are discharged. And I mean, if it's hard, let's talk about it. But, while I'm prepared to say that there are some cases that we have to manage and transition through the infirmaries because persons just don't have anywhere to go, I'm also prepared to say that there are some members who deliberately drop their relatives off, leave them. They do it during Christmas, they do it during Easter, and they treat the hospital as a holding area, a nursery, if you will. And it is a reality. And the reason why we know it's a reality is that when the unfortunate occurs and these patients pass, some of these relatives turn up asking for the death certificate to claim the assets of these persons. It is a reality. It's not a comfortable conversation to have, but it is a conversation that I think is needed in order to adjust moving forward. Okay, so the final issue, if I may, is the issue of signing an agreement. Now, in my sectoral presentation some time ago, that's in May, early May, I had announced a program called New Limb, New Life, where we decided, based on the data, to support those persons who have lost a limb, an arm, a leg, with giving them a subsidy towards replacement or prosthesis. An artificial arm, artificial leg, and work through or with the Disabilities Association through the Ministry of Labour. The Honourable Minister is here. We announced a 50 million Jamaican dollar subsidy, which will be supported through our compassionate care program. And that process has begun in that a number of persons have been inquiring, have signed up. They work primarily with the Sir John Golding Institute, which is the facility that deals with trauma related to limb loss. And today we want to sign that agreement with the Minister and the Ministry of Labour through the Disabilities Association for its implementation. The Ministry of Health will not determine who these beneficiaries are. We'll hand that over to the Disabilities Association through the Ministry of Labour because they currently have a database, and that database is a revolving base. That's where persons with disabilities go. The benefits for us, firstly, we have to show compassion to those who require and deserve a second chance. And our compassionate posture as a government around the disability, the community with persons living with disabilities is something that we want to demonstrate because we think it is worthy of that level of effort. Secondly, from a public health perspective, over 80% of persons who lose a limb, and I think it's closer to 90%, is linked to a medical condition, not just trauma. At first I thought it would have been accidents, car accident, bike accidents. It's actually linked primarily to diabetes, which is brought on sometimes by various other things, hypertension and so on. So lifestyle, circulation issues because you have diabetes. So that's a major health concern. So part of our intention is to give those persons a second chance because they are now in treatment. They have to control, otherwise they will pass. I mean, that's just the ultimate end. Help them to reintegrate into society because there is a lot of mental health issues associated with losing a limb, help them to become more economically viable because they would have now been restricted by a loss of a limb, give them a sense of hope, but also, very importantly, highlighting the consequences of lifestyle diseases, the consequences of diabetes, and in some instances even using some of these persons who volunteer as testimonials to enhance a more health-seeking posture by the population generally, a population that clearly has a sick profile, as I had outlined earlier. So there are multiple benefits of this program, and we look forward to working with the ministry, the Minister, the Disabilities Association to advance this in the months to come. So promise made, promise kept. Thank you very much. We can sign on. Thank you. Sit here? Or?
Thank you very much. I'll now ask the Minister of Labour and Social Security to join the Minister of Health and Wellness.
T-boy Lester Morgan, look at him. Look at him standing there, look like, think him cute. And him is all about that and things like that. Look at him. Eh? Never come see. The image, his body language can tell you what kind of person he is. Just look at him. Look at this guy. Just look at him. You can see the lie and the grooming when get and things like that. Him fighting for him life. This guy have a lot of corruption on him. I never tell the truth. Just look at him. Look at him. In fact, look at them. Because this is a busting audience. Yeah, this is a busting audience. They are all oppressors. I remember now you have Flavor Williams is there, you know. Flavor, what's your name? Flavor Williams is there, you know. So she is the next one. So look, they're all busting. Yeah, man.
And I suspect your state minister and your permanent secretary, do we have a representative? Oh, Dr. ToughTounge, you'll be able to take some questions after, right? Okay, my apologies. Our friend from the Gleaner. Right. All right. Do we have a mic? All right, so can we, before you leave, can we have some presented shots of the MOU with your team?
By the way, she went to Manchester High School.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. ToughTounge. And thanks to the team. We'll have some more opportunities for pictures after. But I suspect that members of the media would like to ask you some questions. You may come back.
Yes. Thank you, Minister. We do have one from this side of the room, so let's do
that. This is for all the ministers, actually. Have any of you been contacted by the Integrity Commission, any investigation into illicit
We do not comment on Integrity Commission matters.
No, Minister, it's a question, though, and Jamaicans want to know.
No, you want to know.
No, Jamaicans want to know, and I'm a Jamaican.
All right, hold on.
Yes.
The Integrity Commission is an organization that is independent to do its investigation. We have taken a decision months ago that government members will not comment on Integrity Commission matters in the public domain. We have experience of recent conversations of matters between the state and the Integrity Commission, and there was a clear policy decision that we will not, even before this event or this conversation, that we will not comment on Integrity Commission matters. So no member of the government will comment on Integrity Commission matters.
But to who was this communicated, and can you allow the ministers to decline to comment?
There's a policy decision.
From Cabinet?
Yes, there's a policy decision that we do not comment on the Integrity Commission. We do not comment on a creature of Parliament that is overseen by Parliament as Cabinet Ministers and as members of the government. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. We do have a question for Minister Tufton now. All right, 1 second.
I'm happy to comment on public health. Just ask. Anything to do with public health.
Minister,
Yes.
will there be a comprehensive approach involving all of government regarding the problem of social cases in hospitals?
Well, I think it requires a holistic, a whole of government approach. And in fact, the government has been working together in a number of ways to coordinate the response. I earlier outlined that we have worked closely with the Minister of Local Government, Minister Mackenzie. In fact, the Ministry of Health and Local Government have jointly financed the expansion of a few infirmaries, Spanish Town being one, where Spanish Town Hospital was literally overrun by social cases. And we had to add a new ward at this Spanish Town Infirmary and relocated those persons. And also have been, if I'm not I stand to be corrected, but I believe the Ministry of Health is still offering or giving support in terms of the employees who man that area of the facility. And we have done some others. We did it in Trelawney. We have 30 social cases that have been relocated from Cornwall Regional to this Trelawney Infirmary. And it goes on. And every day we talk to, we're doing something in Westmoreland with the municipal authority there. So the local, once the person is designated, because there is a file, there's a case file that is written up on the individual. Once clinically they are qualified to be discharged. And once they are officially discharged, the social case file is determined whether they have relatives, whether they are a genuine social case. Some instances we investigate and try to find the family members. In cases in the past, they have been dropped off to family members only to be brought back. In mental health, it's a big issue. The Bellevue Hospital has about 700 plus residents, 500 of which are social cases, designated because they could easily be treated from home, but have been abandoned. So there is a huge society problem which we have to recognize. Now, I had announced some time ago that we would look at pursuing legal action against family members who abandoned their relatives when that evidence was there. And we have been waiting for a definitive position from the Attorney General's office. The indicative position has been that we may not have jurisdictional responsibility to pursue the matter at that level. And it may mean legislative changes, but I have not gotten that firmly as yet, which is what has prevented us from going to the courts already, because I had queued up the team. We were willing to outsource it to a legal team. And I just want to say, it is not an attempt at targeting the victims, who are the people who have been abandoned. It's an attempt of recognizing the responsibility of their significant others, whether it's their children or otherwise, especially in the case where these persons have assets. Because remember, a lot of them have assets. They have their house, they have land, they have pension that is coming to them, and it is utilized by their relatives or significant others, whoever those are, not to their benefit. And if you talk to some of them, and I have a number of them, and they give you the history of where they're from, and who their relatives are, you fully appreciate, or you appreciate a lot more the real dilemma we face. But again, we haven't been able to pursue that because we haven't gotten a definitive position. Now, beyond that, there is a mental health challenge around some of those cases, and we are trying to expand our community outreach around the treatment of mental health. We have added a number of additional personnel at the community level to do visitations and so on, vehicles to support it. But it's a growing problem also. So yes, it's an all-of-society approach, but we drive that program because it falls under public health, of course. Any other?
I see no further questions, Minister. So, Minister Morgan,
thank you.
Over to you. Thank you, ministers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tufton. Do we have any more questions? Sure. From Kimo.
Seeking a quick update, Minister, on the ATI reform process.
Oh, thank you very much for that opportunity. So we, as updated last time, the government is very serious about the ATI reform. There was a joint select committee that was held about a decade ago, but we felt that those conclusions are a bit dated, as it was over 10 years ago. So what we have asked is, as Minister with responsibility, I've asked the Information Division, when I just became Minister a year ago, to start work on it. Since then, they have submitted documents to the Attorney General's Department for determination, so we can make a submission to Cabinet, so we can have another joint select committee for the ATI. The reality of it is that the government or the state's legislative process is very, what's the word? It takes some time. So, but I can assure the public that we are doing some work on it. It is our hope that we can get it out within another few months, but I cannot make such a commitment as I do not control all the levels as it relates to this matter. So there is work being done on that. All right? Any other questions before we close? All right. A marathon post-cabinet press briefing. I would really like to thank the ministers who came here today. Minister Favour Williams, who started us off, Minister Pernell Charles Jr., and Minister Christopher Tufton, as well as State Minister Dr. Norman Dunn. I was going to say Professor Norman Dunn. I would also like to thank representatives from the various ministries. I really don't remember everybody's name, but I want to really appreciate all the top-level management and support, as well as those from the media who have come and the various government entities, such as the Disabilities Foundation, who have been here with us this morning. I also want to thank members of the media who came here. Really appreciate your attendance at Post-Cab. Really thank you for the support that you have continued to give Post-Cabinet over the last several months, and also the support staff from the Jamaica Information Service and the Public Broadcasting Corporation, and here at the Office of the Prime Minister, and especially to our viewers who continue to stay tuned to us every week. Until next week, another Post-Cabinet press briefing. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.
A big sound, I play a big tune.
Jah Holy Emmanuel, I boy. Jah Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know want no devil philosophy. Not until color of man's skin is of no more significant, well, to the color of his eye. Remember all the war done in 1935.